Financial crisis is a situation in which some financial assets suddenly lose a large part of their nominal value. According to Investopedia, financial crisis is a situation in which the value of financial institutions or assets drops rapidly. A financial crisis is often associated with a panic or a run on the bank, in which investors sell off assets or withdraw money from savings accounts, with the expectation that the value of those assets will drop. A financial crisis has been common in most countries throughout modern times. The United States has experienced major financial crises in the past. Malaysia also affected from the Asian financial crisis in year 1997, including South Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, and the Philippines. Studying financial crises is worthwhile because they have led to severe economic downturns in the past and have the potential. Financial crises occur when there is disruption in the financial system that causes such a sharp increase in adverse selection and moral hazard problems in the financial market. It also can cause the market unable to channel funds efficiently from savers to people with having productive investment opportunities. As a result of the inability of financial markets to function efficiently, the economic activity factor causing financial crisis. To understand why banking and financial crises occur, and more specifically, how they lead to contraction in economic activity, we need to examine the factors that cause them. 5 categories of factors that trigger financial crisis are: increase in interest rates, increase in uncertainty, asset market, effect on balance sheet, problem in banking. Increases in interest rates. Interest rates are the most closely watched variables in the economy. Their movements are reported almost daily by the news media because they directly affect our everyday lives and have important consequences for the health of the economy. They affect personal decisions such as whether to consume or save, whether to buy a house, and whether to purchase bonds or put funds into a saving account. Interest rates also affect the economic decisions of businesses and households, such as whether to use their funds to invest in new equipment for factories. Increase in uncertainty. A dramatic increase in uncertainty in financial markets due to recession and stock market crash makes it harder for lenders to screen goods from bad credit risk. The resulting inability of lenders to solve the adverse selection problem makes them less willing to lend, which leads to a decline in lending, investment, and asset market effects on balance sheets. A decline in the stock market means that the net worth of corporations has fallen because share prices are the valuation of corporations' net worth. Lenders are now exposed to loss. They decrease their lending, which in turn causes investment and aggregate output to decline. The resulting increase in moral hazard makes the lending less attractive, and decline in net worth leads to the problem in the banking sector. The state of banks' balance sheet has an important effect on bank lending. If banks suffer a deterioration in their balance sheet and so have a substantial contraction in their capital, they will have fewer resources to lend, and bank lending will decline. The contraction in lending then leads to a decline in investment spending, with government fiscal imbalances. Fears of default on the government debt can also spark a foreign exchange crisis in which the value of the domestic currency falls sharply because investors pull their money out of the country.
Hello, greeting guys. Today I'm going to talk about a financial crisis that happened in the year 1997 towards the Asian countries. So the first point, the Asian financial crisis was a period of financial crisis that gripped much of East Asia beginning in July 1997 and raised fears of a worldwide economic meltdown due to financial contagion in West countries. Next, financial contagion happens when there is a asymmetric information between domestic banks or financial intermediaries in triggering transmission when it defaults on interbank liabilities and sell assets at extremely discounted prices. The crisis started in Thailand with the financial collapse of the Thai baht after the Thai government was forced to float the baht due to lack of foreign currency. Okay, now let's see what does this financial crisis cause to Malaysia. Malaysian ringgit was heavily traded by speculators. This led to rating downgrades and a general sell-off on the stock and currency markets. Besides that, KLSE had lost more than 50% from above 1200 to 600, and the ringgit had lost 50% of its value, falling from 2 ringgit 50 cents to under 4 ringgit 57 cents onto the dollar. This causes the Malaysian government to stop the overseas trade in ringgit currency and restricting the amount of currency and investment that residents can take abroad and impose for foreign portfolio funds a minimum 1-year stay period, which since has been converted to an exit tax. Lastly, the country gross domestic product plunged 6.2% in 1998. During that year, the ringgit plunged below 4 ringgit 70 cents and the KLSE fell below 270 points. Overall, the output of the real economy of Malaysia has declined.
Next, we will be talking about financial crisis in year 2007 to 2008. It is also known as the global financial crisis and is considered by many economists to have been the worst financial crisis after the Great Depression. It also collapsed a lot of large financial institutions like Lehman Brothers. So, what actually causes the financial crisis in year 2007 and 2008? First, it was because of the bank providing an easier access loan for borrowers. This means that instead of having so much trouble and documents to bother both parties, they decided to lower down the selection standard and just fill in some simple document. And then he just gave out the loan for people who want to borrow it. Look how happy he is. Next, one of the causes was the complex interplay of policy that encouraged home ownership. The people have been talking about how good if you own a house, and how the American dream can finally come true. There are a lot of policies to encourage home ownership, but what they did not know was what coming after this. Due to the easy credit condition, more people are getting loans easily to purchase houses. Thus, it causes the demand of house increases and drives the demand curve to shift to the right. And then the speculator enter the market, believing that the profits can be made through short-term buying and selling. This further drives the demand to increase. In the face of limited supply, which takes a relatively long period of time to replenish and increase. And at some point, the demand decreases and it causes a shift to the left in the demand curve, or stagnate at the same time supply increases, resulting in a sharp drop in the prices, and then the bubble bursts. When the bubble bursts, a lot of them could not pay back the loan just like them. Predatory lending was one of the causes as well. It refers to the practice of unscrupulous lenders enticing borrowers to enter into unsafe or unsound secure loans for inappropriate purposes. A classic bait and switch method was used by advertising low interest rate for home refinancing. Such loans were written into extensive 52 contracts and swapped for more expensive loan products on the day of closing. For example, the advertisement might state that 1% or 1.5% interest will be charged. The consumer will be put into an adjustable rate mortgage, in which the interest charged would be greater than the interest paid. And this created a negative amortization, in which the credit consumer might not notice until long after the loan transaction has been consummated. When housing prices decreased, homeowners in adjustable rate mortgages then had little incentive to pay their monthly payments since their home equity had disappeared. Although financial crisis 2007-2008 was prevented by the bailout of banks by national governments, but stock markets still dropped worldwide.
Hi, my name is Nabil, and I'll present on the solutions to the financial crisis. In most cases, financial crisis is usually transient and recoverable from. There exist certain measures that could be taken by both the private and government sectors to overcome a financial crisis. Primarily, a government's economic policy should be anti-cyclical, meaning that the government has to react fast to signs of economic slumps and overheating. Fiscal and monetary policy tools should be used to deflate gently the rising prices of goods and services, and not further inflate these prices to cater to certain interests from corporate monopolies. This effort requires full cooperation from businesses, government, and also the central bank. It would require tightening of the monetary policy by the central bank, which will lead to higher interest rates in banks to reduce overall spending. In addition, the government should reduce spending on goods and services plus increase taxes. This is coined as tightening the fiscal policy. Deflating the economy will lead to reduced growth and lower inflation rate. However, it is difficult to solve the problem by relying on deflation alone. Deflating the economy leads to lower unemployment and lower overall economic growth at first. But in the end, it will resolve the financial crisis. Secondly, the main objective of saving the country's economy should not be about bailing out or helping individual large corporations, whose owners and managers made problematic financial decisions in the past, even though these conglomerates served as the national interest. This is related to the moral hazard component due to the asymmetry of information. For example, firm managers misuse certain corporate loans or funds entrusted to them to acquire assets for their own personal enrichment. In the long run, the company's assets that have been set as loan collateral have to be discharged due to default payments by the managers who have misappropriated the funds in the first place. The government should not help these owners and managers of the firms that violated these corporate ethics and legal rules. Let them stand trial, and if found guilty, seize all of their personal assets to recoup the losses suffered by their company. Finally, it is unfeasible to maintain the excessive incomes of the corporate tycoons and well-paid executives, when it is even harder to sustain the normal standard of living for the lower rungs of society. It is almost always certain that a financial decline will diminish the income of important sectors, serving the interests of the middle and lower class citizens. Investment demand for these sectors will also diminish. Thus, it is crucial that the government support for vital sectors that are active in rural development, welfare and education must be maintained during these difficult times.
The vision of this financial crisis, the oil price, then our political situation in the country, the one effect, the GST implementation. This is what I know and everyone knows from Indonesia, right? So for Bank Raya business, I'm focusing on Bank Raya. Okay. For Bank Raya business, when the purchasing power of consumers in Malaysia reduce drastically, so it will affect our business. Because our business, we give financing, personal financing and housing financing to locals. Okay. So when there's the reduced the reducing of this purchasing power, it will affect. So our business is quite affected because last time we can find a lot of potential customers and they're eligible to take financing with us, but now the amount of our potential customers reduced drastically. Plus the implementation of policy from Bank Negara, the monetary policy, whereby last time we can offer 20 years of tenure for personal financing up to 250,000. And then since our household debt in Malaysia is so huge, so Bank Negara want to control this. So Bank Negara, reduce